2, 1, and
Yo, kings and queens, she's and he's, theys and thems, human beings, and everybody in between. Man, it feels so good to say that again. It feels so good to be in front of your screens again, whether you're watching this on your phone, on your laptop, if you're playing it on the TV, because I hope so, because you know this is a TV show. I'm talking about the one and only Erratic show, where we're in the streets and industry, and we're back, a whole new season 4, episode 1. There's not a lot of new changes. Well, there are some new changes. We're shooting at Dolph Studios, so shout out to the good people. That's Dolph, that's family, that is, my brothers for real. So we're kicking it off. The production is going to be different. It's going to be crazy. As well, there's no more Erratic. It is just I, Sam Velapi. Man, I just like have a whole change of thing. I want people to know that the Erratic show can live on without Erratic. Doesn't matter who comes on the show. Doesn't matter who hosts and presents. We are hopefully in due time going to see some maybe some new anchors, some new correspondents, some new people on the show. We're going to have some guests. It's going to be a crazy season, but we're coming right back at it. And what's also coming back is For the Streets Awards. That'll be happening on the 18th of September at Josie Gold Brewing Company. I'm speaking it into existence. It's going to happen. So for the public voting will be out when you see this episode. That should be Thursday, Friday, hopefully one of these days. You know how editing gets, you know how life gets. Also, I've been having a job, I've been having an actual job. Things have been crazy, but the vote will be out. You'll be able to choose, vote for your favorites. Always just as event of the year, live music event of the year, publication of the year, and then the usuals that you always vote for. So check that out. Then we're going to have the music categories coming. So the award show 18th of September, Josie Gold Brewing Company in Braamfontein. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. But now let's get into what you all come here for, which is the news. And since we're talking about For the Streets Awards, we're going to talk about awards and get straight into the Summers and the Content Creator Awards. Now, firstly, let's look at the Summers. People were having a whole crazy chat about this year. The production quality looked just a little bit low. No one was really, people were tuning in, they're like, what's going on? We're wondering why is it happening on 2 days. Friday was like the industry awards, and then Saturday was like the music show, and everyone's like, what happened to the Summers being on a Saturday? Saturday, you're sitting with your family, Saturday night, you planned it all out. Everyone's gonna come, sit down, watch the Summers, and it's our Saturday night. We don't need a groove, because we're all tuned in, we're all locked in. We wanna see who's gonna win, who has our album of the year, who has the song of the year. And it feels like, I don't feel like the Summers are falling off, but it feels like just with the awards in general, maybe because it was how they've been set up and how people have felt robbed, especially on the artist side, that the way artists speak about awards now, the way artists speak about the Summers, the Metros, it starts feeling like the fans are now like, are the awards legitimate? Are they worth it? Do we need to tune in if our favorite artists aren't coming or going to be there, or if they're not performing? So, but I also look at them like the Summers are 32 years old. I'm 33 years old. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know if you guys know what you're doing. I be broke most of the days. Nigga, I don't even have a haircut. So a whole lot of things happen. Summers are still very young. I feel like our industry is still very young, and we need to, place and learn these things, how to build awards, how to keep awards, and how to keep them going. Because I do find it interesting, as I said, there's also the Content Creator Awards. Now, when we look into it and I look at awards, and I look at the entrance fees, and I'm like, sometimes maybe this is why awards have entrance fees, or such as the Grammys, they have committees, and you pay to be members on these committees, because to do an award show is not cheap. You can ask me, not cheap at all, and someone needs to pay for the bills. And until you can get sponsors, and even with the sponsor, when they come on, besides the return on investment of, I guess, social capital or the recognition that you get from artists and the industries, it might not look like it in the best sense pocket-wise, and you're spending more money out than you're getting in. So that's why they set up entry fees. Besides doing as a vetting process, it's like it also helps fund the event to get things out. And another thing on the Content Creator Awards, as they rise, it starts making you question this digital versus traditional media war. Where is it going? Do people not care about traditional media anymore, where we don't care if your song plays on radio and it might be the biggest in the country, but because the people now who have the biggest voice are on digital, they're online, they're on social media, they get to say that, oh, we care about which songs blew up on the reels, which song blew up on the TikTok, which song blew up as a trend. And it makes you think, where are we going in with this new age, with AI coming into music, your Credo Daniels coming out there playing, people coming packing in. It becomes a whole expansion. And traditional versus digital, where are we going with it, who's going to win, and how far does it affect us? And this goes also into our politics, because when you look at the traditional bullshitting and the digital bullshitting, ANC and Helen Zille from the DA are probably the top priority. And when I say traditional bullshitting to digital bullshitting, ANC, we know the tradition. You know how it goes. They go out into the hoods, they go out to the underprivileged areas, giving out shirts, snacks, free sermons, trying to show people that they love them, providing the services they're supposed to provide on the daily, but somehow they don't. And then doing it in a short span of a month. And then you get the digital bullshit with Helen Zille and all her reels, swimming in potholes, checking out the Randburg Home Affairs, and such activities, which builds up, like I say, this chat and talk online of the people who voices can be heard because they have the privilege and the access to the data that, or the internet access that still most of our country doesn't have. And they get to talking, and it starts making people wonder, okay, DA, ANC. And through all of this noise and bullshit, what happens to the thing we need to know, as in, what are your policies? What are the manifestos? Who are you putting up in these positions? What are their background and qualifications? And I'm not trying to be the preacher of, oh, we should know it all and study, and we're not that involved. I'm just saying, maybe the parties should tell us these things instead of trying to show why the other party sucks, or trying to show that, hey, we actually love the people and we can fix the problem when it's time for elections. And talking about the elections, the fact that they kept getting pushed and pushed because not enough youth were registering, ooh, that's crazy. I feel like the politicians' government is losing the people, and at the same time I feel like the people aren't trying to gain more power in governing ourselves. We still want someone to be in charge of the problems. We don't want to take care of ourselves, and somehow we are falling through the cracks. We need to get it together, all of us, all together, and sort out this problem, and just try to see how we can reshape, reconstruct, and refill our country for the better, because we always want to keep coming back for more and more and more and more. And talking about people who are trying to refill the country in a better way, we have another verses. I guess it's going to be an episode of verses. We have another verses. So ShopRite just announced that they have a full ride station. This is a station where people can come refill on some household essentials if they keep their plastic bottles, starting from R5. So essentials like oil, dishwashing liquid, and so on and so on. So as ShopRite announced this full ride, a lot of the public were like, no, we've seen this before. And we've seen this from an innovative gassy shop called Scubu, where they actually put up the model of refilling these essentials and also recycling your plastic containers. So now people are like, oh no, ShopRite, you guys are just copy pasting, you're plagiarizing, you're stealing the IP, everything like that. And fair enough, yes, we do want our local heroes to be given the shine, the recognition they deserve, to be given that pay, especially for being pioneers and sorting out issues that affect them and their communities. You can see this is not an idea made to be like, oh, we can make more money, but an idea made out of necessity and seeing the communities that people struggle and trying to fix those problems. But now, issue when you go to market is, it's called a market share for a reason. Once you share an idea, someone's going to copy it. When they dropped Coke, they made a Pepsi. You get Monster, you get Red Bull. Everyone, there's always going to be a competitor who sees your idea and tries to take it and twist it in the best way possible. I think that's why the saying, great artists still come from. And sometimes even as artists, people always look at it like, oh, why aren't you crediting? Sometimes you don't need a credit. It's like, oh, if you can see the idea came from there and it's there, but I just can do it bigger and better, which is the unfair advantage, that's what they do. So how far, if there's a case or what's happening, you do feel sorry for the creators of this, but at the same time, it's like such a great idea. If they can implement it in the other big stores, doesn't that help more people than less people, even if they're doing it for their own selfish capital gain? It's, again, no right or wrong. It's just a think piece on how we look at things and if we believe things should keep going the way they are. But the refill idea is brilliant. I want to give hands out, Scubu. You guys did the thing. ShopRite, I guess you guys were just early in noticing and seeing what it can do for the people and how you can service it. So we'll see how it goes on. Talking about refills, Gayton, his sports minister, is saying that he wants SAFA to refill his bank account with this whole debacle of the SAFA VAR camera installments. So Gayton Kize outclaimed earlier today that he had given SAFA 15 million to implement VAR cameras around stadiums to make sure they're in placement and all of that. Now it came out that actually he had given this money without even checking the processes, what's if the infrastructure is possible, what the costs are going to be, all of what they need to build, how they're going to build it, that whole process, estimated budget. Then it turns out he said it's not 15 million, it's 30 million. Then SAFA came out with a statement saying that no, it's not 30, we were given 20 million after we did all these assessments and everything like that, and the money hasn't cleared, it's in a different provided account. Which account is this? Why did the money just go? Why is this only coming up now? Will it work? Because with our stadiums are owned by teams. I think when you look at international, like Manchester United owns Old Trafford. I guess Chelsea doesn't own Wembley, but you know what I'm saying. Most of these teams own their own stadiums where they can implement VAR. With FMB, everyone's playing there. So with these cameras also then go out to the rugby, you know, would it be sustainable? Who would own it at the end of the day? Would it be SAFA? Would it be the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture? Just many things to it, and the fact that the money could just go out there without this process being done, without the coming out to the public. People are very like, Gayton, we are watching you, you are killing us. I guess SAFA for real, but yeah, that was caught live on 4K, so shout out to VAR if we have to be able to run that back. I guess we do need sometimes we need the evidence just to play it back and be like, that's actually a big penalty. That's a foul, that's a red card. Maybe get this guy out of here. I don't think he's been doing a great job. I don't think anyone's been happy since, especially with the administration of it. We saw the whole World Cup paying for certain influences and people to go, and amen. It's looking very, very tricky out there for Gayton. But we'll keep it on sports, end it off on sports actually, because the sporting season is back and in full swing. First of all, we had the Bucks. They played last week against the All Blacks, and they lost pretty badly. They beat our asses. We're playing a game this weekend out in Cape Town. I know the Lions are also versing the All Blacks, just as a young friendly sparring game. So the rugby season, we're coming back with the World Cup coming up. Everyone is looking and watching and waiting and excited to see what happens. Talking about World Cup, South Africa is in the Hockey World Cup, both our women and men's team happening out there in Belgium and the Netherlands. So if you can tune in, if you're a hockey fan, if you are a patriot, just go in and watch, support the team, support, South Africa and all our endeavors. We are one of the biggest sporting nations in the world, so best believe it. Then varsity netball has come back, started last night. All the netball girlies is going up. I think also there's netball men out there. I always grew up thinking, oh, netball's only for girls. I didn't even know men could play. But there is also the netball for men. So if you're into the varsity netball, check it out, watch the students, support them. It all starts from grassroots levels, and then we just keep building bigger and bigger. We always say we want our sports people to be more paid, more appreciated, but it starts with us as the fans. Now, if you're a big supporter of American sports, the NFL is coming back in 2 weeks' time. I know our fantasy group is ready, waiting to go. I'm about to win my second chip this season. Yes, believe it, you heard it here first. Breaking news all the time. But guys, it was good to be back. This is the first episode, season 4. We're just going to keep getting better, keep getting bigger. Thank you for tuning in. The only show that's in the streets and in the street is the Erratic show. Back on your screens once again, and I'm never leaving you here forever, baby.